Welcome, everybody, to ET Live. This is Roses and Rosé Live. I'm Lauren Zima, and we are here to talk about the windmill. Yes, Monday night's episode of The Bachelorette was the #1 show in its time slot and delivered one of the most iconic episodes in franchise history. We found out who Hannah Brown slept with in the windmill in her fantasy suites, and we saw that much talked about moment with her and Luke Parker, a showdown that had been teased all season. Joining me now to talk through those two, plus Tyler and Jed, are a fabulous Bachelor Nation success story. Jade and Tanner, thank you guys so much for being here this morning.
What's up, guys?
You guys look so cute. You're coordinated in blue and blue. Like, are you one of those couples who are starting to dress like each other?
She picks out my outfits for me.
That's a good answer, Tanner. Now, I know you guys had warned me we might hear Emmy in the background. She might pop in, and I just want to say I think myself and all of Bachelor Nation have no problem with that because you guys make the cutest kids.
Yeah, she's playing right over here or something.
We want to catch up with you guys as well, but first, let's dive right into this episode. I'm just going to go in order of the fantasy suites. We're starting off with Peter. We saw Peter and Hannah have a gorgeous romantic day on a boat together. Peter ended up dropping the L-bomb, telling Hannah he did love her, and Hannah said that made her comfortable enough to go to the fantasy suites with Peter, where we found out that he was the windmill. The two of them went from a boat to a windmill together and did the deed. What did you guys think? Did you expect Peter to be the windmill, or shocking?
To be honest, I was a little shocked because Peter seemed like the most, like, I don't know, quote unquote, like innocent, young seeming guy. But I just hope he brought that condom from his Mercedes all the way to the windmill.
We did see them. They showed that they had some protection in the fantasy suites, which I'd heard before. Leeds had told me that before, that yeah, when you go in the fantasy suites, they have a little kit there. And hey, safety first.
Yep, that is true.
Jade, were you surprised it was Peter?
I did. A couple weeks ago, I think I would have been really surprised, but you can see that there's really like a lot of physical chemistry there, and he's not afraid to like put the moves on her. Yeah. And so I guess I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah, that sauna day, it was like a primer, that was hot and heavy, so I'm not shocked.
Well, and then they were like making out hardcore on the boat. Like they were ready.
Yeah,
hardcore.
I'm glad to see that, like, at least from what I've seen on Twitter and social media, like, Hannah's getting no backlash, which I love, because on my season, Caitlyn got so much, like, that it feels like we've made a lot of strides as a society in a few years, so all good.
100%. I mean, I will tell you, I've seen some of the backlash still. I interviewed Hannah at the Men Tell All taping, and she did talk about, the frustration of being kind of forced into revealing that she'd had sex with Peter. Like, Luke was pushing her and goading her so much that to kind of get him away from her, she said, I had sex in a windmill. And I do think she's gotten some backlash from it, but that's such a good point, Tanner. I mean, how far we've come. I do think Caitlin Bristowe, just from what I'm seeing, dealt with more, and that the comments were super vicious.
Yeah, it seemed like it anyways.
It seems like this time it's a little bit more of a religious thing, just because Luke is so like basing everything in his Christianity, that I feel like the Christians are kind of attacking her a little bit, which I don't want to say that, but that's what I've seen. It's like people are making it more.
Yeah. Well, and then Hannah and Luke were going back and forth on Twitter last night. Luke Parker, if you guys missed it, you can head to etonline.com. We have a whole story with all of their interactions. Hi, Emmy. Those pigtails. Your camera ready, little one.
Yeah.
So we have a story up with the Luke and Hannah's back and forth. Luke literally created a Twitter account yesterday, seemingly to weigh in on this episode. And he tweeted at Hannah, talked about her sin. Then Hannah tweeted back at him, and he said, if you want to talk, you know how to get a hold of me, which I found to be a bit of a gaslighting comment, considering that he had literally created a Twitter account to speak to her in public about this episode.
Yeah, this guy is something else. Luke, I mean, he can't take the hint that she wants nothing to do with him. He doesn't even have a Twitter and has to create one just to continue to get the last word in. It's shocking to me. He is an all-time villain on this show, and probably my least favorite character of all time.
Wow. Jade, where do you feel, where do you land on the Luke situation?
I just feel like, I mean, nothing that's ever come out of his mouth this whole season has ever been genuine. I feel like he doesn't know how to be.
His eyebrows, I can't take him seriously. He is always faking it seems like.
Everything's calculated. Everything I felt like has been like this person he's trying to present. And so it's just, the dude doesn't know when to stop talking. And it's so frustrating to watch. And he is a gaslighter. Like, for all women who have ever been in a situation like this with a man who's trying to control you, he's completely gaslighting her.
What frustrates me is, and look, I do think that people's, obviously religion is a topic that's going to get people fired up, but just even taking the religious discussion out of it, what frustrated me last night was when Luke told her, I know you think you have clarity, but you don't. And that is comment 4 or 5 that he's made where Hannah has told him how she feels or thinks about something, and he is implying that he thinks his opinion and his assessment of the situation is superior to hers.
Right, which is insane. He doesn't even know what he wants, because if it's one thing, he's allowed to have his point of view, his opinions, his beliefs, but it's when he says, I'm going to give you this ultimatum. If you slept with someone else, I don't want to be with you. But then literally 30 seconds later, he backtracks and completely falls off that point. If you're going to have a point, stick with it, own it, have it till the end. When you invalidate your whole belief system within 30 seconds, it means you have nothing to say, and you should just stop talking. So he's just a flip-flopper on every account.
I've always said I think the most successful people in reality TV are people who just own things, own your thoughts, own your opinions, own your mistakes. You're going on a reality show. I have to tell you guys, I was at the Men Tell All taping, and it airs Monday on ABC, July 22nd. Watching everything unfold with Luke was wild. It's going to be a killer episode, so everybody check that out. We see Luke and Hannah go head-to-head, unlike the way that they did on Twitter, but in an incredibly powerful way. So want to back up a little bit to Peter and get you guys' thoughts on some news that ET actually broke yesterday. There were lots of rumors, especially after the Jed ex-girlfriend scandal popped up about an ex-girlfriend of Peter's. And we ended up doing this email interview with her, and she kind of made some big accusations about Peter seemingly possibly being in the casting process for the show while he was telling her that he wanted to live with her, that he wanted to have kids with her. And then she said he broke up with her out of nowhere and never told her that he was going to be on the show. So that's where we're at with Peter. What do you guys think about this situation? Because a lot of Bachelor Nation alum have had differing thoughts on it.
Yeah, I have some pretty strong beliefs on it, actually. So, do I think Peter was a little shady with this girl based upon the story? Yes. Do I think he was a good boyfriend to this girl? Probably not. But do I think he's okay to break up with her for whatever reason he wants? Yes. People break up every day in the real world for a zillion different reasons. And to be honest, getting the chance to go on a TV show is a decent reason if you want to. He obviously valued this TV show opportunity more than their relationship, and that's his call. They only dated for like 5 months. They were long distance, and they broke up in December, and he at least did have the decency to end it right then. Yeah. So it was a 5-month relationship. They'd been broken up for 3 months before filming even began. Again, do I think he was a little shady in it? Probably. Does it maybe show that he maybe isn't ready to settle down? Maybe. But I think he didn't do anything wrong, per se. He's entitled to break up with someone if he wants.
Well, I also saw that Nick Viall tweeted, because he did a podcast with Peter, or met Peter, or something like that, and he said that Peter was scouted by the show, that he didn't apply, that someone didn't nominate him, that he didn't go through like the normal like casting process. So I feel like to say like he was like trying to get on the show while he was leading this girl on might be a little bit just like of a stretch of what people are saying.
And maybe he did. He very well could have. But I think a lot of contestants are dating, talking to people ahead of time.
Dating is like he wasn't married. He was dating somebody, and obviously he wasn't that into her if he left to go on a show. Yeah, and you don't want to be with somebody who's not that into you, so she should just kind of move on.
No, it does sound like he led her on a little bit, maybe made her seem like things were a little more serious than they were, which is maybe a reflection of character at that time. But
Maybe
he's a young guy. He's dating. I think he's entitled to do whatever he wants.
Maybe he felt that way, and then he changed his mind. People can change their mind.
Yeah, so I don't think it's anything close to the Jed situation, because Jed seemingly had a girlfriend.
Had a game plan. Came in to play with Hannah's heart just to move his career up. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Had a girl and had a game plan. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, I want to hear from Jed and I want to hear from Peter, from both of them. We get to hear from some of the guys at Men Tell All, and then we'll hear from some of the guys, hopefully at After the Final Rose. And I'm really excited to hear what they both have to say about this. It's always interesting to me too, because I feel like people, they think that, people get extreme and they're like, I hate him. These are people. They're on a reality show. They're on TV for the first time, and it's a lot to process. And I do want to hear what both of them had to say. And I agree the situations seem to be different. So we will have to see. So Peter is in the windmill with Hannah. He tells Hannah he loves her. Then we have Tyler. Let's talk about the Tyler date. So Tyler and Hannah have a steamy makeout situation on a massage table. And then after they tell each other how much they love kissing each other, after they are entangled, after Hannah talks about the incredibly strong physical connection they have, she says she wants more of an emotional connection. She wants them to develop that more. And at dinner, Hannah tells, I can't get over this footage. How many cameras do they have here?
They're oily.
The oily. At dinner, Hannah tells Tyler, look, I want to go into the fantasy suites and I do not want to have sex. She makes that very clear, and he says, I respect that. What did you guys think of this conversation between Hannah and Tyler?
It's an interesting one, because they have been so physically, attached to each other all season long. I don't know. In my mind, it can mean one of two things. It can mean that she really likes Tyler and wants to see if they have more, or maybe she is more connected to like a Jed or a Peter, and maybe she was already intimate with Peter at this point in the windmill, and she didn't want to cross that boundary again if she knew Tyler maybe isn't her guy. Maybe that's reading between the lines too much, but either way, I think Tyler handled it perfectly. I mean, he respected Hannah. He has respected Hannah all the way along. And maybe what we haven't seen is just that they don't have that connection, and maybe she wants to see if it's there. Maybe it's as simple as that.
I think Hannah's a super smart woman, and I feel like she wanted to see if maybe there was like stimulating intellectual conversation, because they obviously have the physical. I mean, he is like a great guy. He seems like he's got his life together.
Well, until next week, his girlfriend comes out of the closet.
Oh God!
I'm just holding my breath, hoping that doesn't happen.
Oh my
I feel like Tyler's our like one last hope.
Can you imagine?
I know. I'm not sure if I've ever anticipated a live finale more, because now we have questions for Jed, we have questions for Peter. We have to find out how things end up for Hannah, and who knows, maybe a Bachelor announcement. Like, we don't know. We're not sure when we'll get that, but I'm on the edge of my seat, truly. Do you guys have a pick for Hannah right now?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm hoping Hannah ends up with Pilot Pete. I think I've said this from day one. I think they are the most compatible. I think they look like a couple together.
They look like a couple.
I just feel like they have the best chance to succeed. I'm not a Luke P fan, but obviously he's not getting picked. Even though he looks like he comes back next episode. But I don't know. I'm not a Jed fan. I don't see what she sees in him. Like, the whole girlfriend thing aside, I just feel like he's been boring all season.
And just so focused on Luke and how they're so different.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it's not Jed. This is like actually the first season we have been spoiler free, so we've been enjoying it.
Go ahead, Jade. Sorry.
No, I would say I picked Peter too. I mean, all season long, I thought he was like the right guy to pick. He seems like husband material. He seems like he'd be a good dad. They seem like they have like a lot in common. It just seems natural and easy for them. And I also kind of want Tyler C. or Mike to be Bachelor. So I'm kind of hoping it's not Tyler.
I love it. Jade's making her pick for Hannah with who she wants to be Bachelor in mind. This is smart, Jade. You're making a TV show in your head. I love this.
I want to see next season.
So on that note, do you guys have an official endorsement for Bachelor? I mean, we don't know how it all ends, but are you picking Tyler, Mike?
I mean, I think it's a one-horse race, honestly, with Tyler. I mean, Mike maybe has a chance, or maybe a Peter, but I think it's Tyler for sure from what we've seen so far.
Based on what?
Just
The
from
hype?
the hype on him. I mean, the girls are thirsty for him just from looking at social media and everything like that. And he's played his cards right.
Well, that's been really important to me.
Are you guys still there?
Oh, yeah, can you hear us?
Can you
Oh,
hear
sorry,
us?
lost you for a second. He's played his cards right, and what else did you say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's played his cards right all season long. I mean, he's really said everything right every step of the way. So if he doesn't end up with Hannah,
Well,
I just think he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, and he's kind of had like a character arc. Like
Mhm.
we've seen some growth with him, and so I feel like a lot of people are attached to his story and they'd want to see it continue if he doesn't end up with Hannah. But I still also I'm an advocate for Mike. I loved Mike. I feel like he'd be a great bachelor too. So we already know that he went home. So
I mean, they both have been, I've been saying, proud to be scandal-free so far as well. So as of now, nothing coming out of the woodwork on those two. It's interesting, though, about who Hannah will end up with. One thing I can't get over, you guys, is that if we just kind of do the math on who has said what to who. So now, as of last night, Peter, Jed, Luke, and Tyler all told Hannah they loved her. Hannah has only said that she is falling for Jed. She's only said that to Jed. And like, I think she kind of half said she was kind of falling for Luke at one point, but in terms of what she said to the guys themselves, we've only seen her tell Jed, I'm falling for you. And she acknowledged that last night too. And that just seems powerful to me.
Yeah, that's pretty telling. And she looked super giddy after their date when he was like leaving in the morning. It looks like she's gonna pick Jed,
Oh no.
which I hate for multiple reasons. I don't know. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. But maybe we'll see a scenario like Ari and Lauren where like it ends up being Jed, but something else happens for Hannah too. I don't know.
I will say this season has changed so much all season long with what we've seen happening on camera and what we've been hearing about off camera. So I truly feel like I don't know how things are going to end up on this live finale in a couple weeks. Also wanted to ask you guys about what's going on with you as we wrap up here, of course. Jade, how close are you to popping baby number 2 on the way? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm 36 weeks. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a big belly here.
Yeah, she's ready to pop. She's actually the most pregnant she's ever been. We had Emmy like at 36 weeks, and now Jade just passed the 36-week mark. So
Yeah.
we're ready. We got the bag packed, and we won't be shocked if it happens tomorrow, but it also could be a month. So we'll see.
So I'm to the point though where I'm just like, I'm ready. The baby can come now.
You're more pregnant than you've ever been, and that means now's the time. I have to ask you guys, I know that your dear friends, Ashley and Jared, 2 people we love, are commemorating their love with a wedding soon. So are you going to make the wedding? What's the plan?
That's not up to us. That's up to baby boy here. The due date is extremely close, like a day apart from their wedding. So if he comes on the due date, unfortunately, we would not be able to make it. If he does come early and things are, healthy and well, then we'll have a chance to make a last-minute flight.
We're all 3 in the wedding because Emmy is supposed to be a flower girl too. So we're like, fingers crossed. I really want to be there, but of course this would be the timing that like.
All right.
Yeah, we have officiant, bridesmaid, and flower girl. This is half the wedding party. But I know it just couldn't be for a better reason. You guys are expecting the new little one. Can you hint at any names or reveal anything you've got picked out?
Oh, we are terrible at boy names. We were just doing that. We had like an app where it's like Tinder for names. we had to pick like swipe right, swipe left, and then we'll see if we had matches. And we have like 16 matches. So I don't know. Maybe we'll have to put like a boy name bracket out on social media and see what people think.
Is Emmy weighing in at all? How is she feeling about becoming a big sister?
She's starting to care.
She's kind of understanding. We went and bought her own little baby doll the other day, so now she has a baby to take care of, like mommy. So I don't think she's gonna quite get it until she sees him, and then she's gonna be like, saying, "Why is it in your lap?" Like,
By the way, Jade, I saw that you were kind of standing up to some of the trolls the other day, and you are, I mean, such an amazing mom, and I know I would guess you probably have to pick your battles with when you do that sometimes. When do you decide, you know what, I got to say something right now, and how does that feel for you?
Well, I am super pregnant and super hormonal and very protective over my children right now, so that definitely fueled my fire. But it's just because somebody called out my daughter because she wasn't speaking in these videos enough for them, apparently, that they thought she was showing signs of autism. And it really had nothing to do with whether she's autistic or on the spectrum or not, or children who are, because I think all children are perfectly fine, whichever way they are. But it was just the etiquette. Like, you would never say something that harsh that would hurt a person's feelings or judge a child like that in public. So why would you come to somebody and put it in a DM where you know I could possibly read it, and it does affect me as a parent. So I was really just calling out their behavior that this is not something that you should be doing at all, period. So
yeah, if you won't say something face to face to somebody, don't say it online. That's
really,
just a common rule of thumb.
You really should say it at all. It's not your child. Like, we are her parents. We watch her development. We care for her tremendously. You know, her safety comes first. She's our first priority. Of course we would be watching those things.
Yeah.
And I know people mean well, but it's just not their place.
And I would imagine that is probably, you know, one time where you felt it cross the line, but there are other times when you just make yourself hold your tongue. I mean, how do you make those decisions?
Yeah, I mean, Jade gets thousands of DMs. She doesn't read all of them. She tries to. But yeah, she lets most of them roll off her shoulder. It's just, you know, maybe every 100th one kind of gets at her.
I think it's finally, it just kind of like wears me thin, and then I'm just like, okay, well, I feel like people need to know this. This is just not okay behavior. You just can't say that to somebody about their child, especially when you don't know the child or the situation or anything like that. So it was just, I don't know if I was just trying to make an example out of somebody, or I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed that morning.
Well, I know you've dealt with some stuff in this pregnancy. Is this making you feel like, okay, I could do this again? We want more kiddos? Or are you like, okay, two kids, I don't know if I can power through this lengthy pregnancy again? How are you feeling?
It's so funny because earlier on in my pregnancy, I would have said, we're done. Like, this is number 2. Like, we're crazy. How are we trying to have 2 kids and we're going to be able to juggle this with our life? But now that he's getting close to being here and I'm just thinking about it, and I like my hormones are kicking in more, I'm like, let's just have another one too. Why not?
Tanner, your thoughts?
But
whatever she says.
Tanner, you have the best responses. She dresses me and I do what she says. Okay, great. And guys, I know you're building this amazing home in Orange County, your new life in California, putting a pool in. How's life in Cali been?
Oh, we got drilling. I don't know if you can hear it. We got drilling going on right now outside our door, so we're just ready to get our yard done. But it's been great. I've loved being home with Emmy every day. We were so lucky to have the opportunity to be here when our kids are young. So it's been super fun, and we're just excited to expand our family and do life.
See what's next. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we're going to wrap up here with you guys, but everybody check out Jade. She has a beautiful jewelry line with her fellow pregnant Bachelor in Paradise alum, Carly, and they have an awesome podcast together, so check both of those out. And I love that you guys are both pregnant with baby number 2 together. Like, you're doing everything together.
I love it. It's like, not a lot of my friends have kids or are pregnant, and so it's so special that she's like the friend I get to do this with.
And guys, we got the first trailer for the new season of Bachelor in Paradise last night, the show that brought you two together. What did you think? We saw Blake. This is the promo for the finale, which we're very excited about, Mondays on ABC for Bachelorette. But we got the new Bachelor in Paradise trailer. We saw Blake maybe getting in some drama with the ladies. Dean is back. What do you guys think of the new season?
I can't wait. We love Paradise more than the regular show. Maybe we're biased, but we just truly enjoy it. I love Dean's mustache, first of all. You know, I'm thinking about growing one myself.
Oh God.
And yeah, it doesn't look good for Blake, but I've heard things over the past year about Blake, and it seems like they're kind of true and coming to a head. So we'll see how he makes out of this, but it looks like a pretty epic season.
Oh, Tanner, what did you hear?
Pretty much that. I mean,
I think it's all going to come out on the show. It looks like.
Yeah, these are not my words, but I've heard the words F-boy thrown around, but a kind of a secret F-boy. So I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. I like Blake. Got nothing against him, but that's just what I've heard.
F-boy has become like the signature word of Bachelor in Paradise. Well, and maybe Dean might be excited to pass the title on to someone else if he can. All right. We're going to wrap with you guys. Jade and Tanner, thank you so much for being here. And all our love to Emmy and Jade. We are just wishing you all the best as you finish up this pregnancy. We can't wait to meet the new little one. Guys, follow them both on social if you don't already. And The Bachelorette is finishing up an unbelievable season. Men Tell All airs Monday, July 22nd on ABC, followed by the live finale and then Bachelor in Paradise. Jade and Tanner, thanks so much.
Thank
you.
you.
See you guys.
Bye.